Wow, look at that. That was fantastic. Did you see it come through there and the lights came on? That's because it's hitting the pantograph, which we're going to show you about today and how to actually wire that up. Not so much wire it up, but do the top part and get it ready for the wiring underneath, of course. So the first thing we need to do is to show you how we made these, which we used a straw, a drinking straw from Up and Go or something. We've used Up and Go, and a piece of wire inside. I'll pull this one out and show you. Piece of wire. Okay. Now this is housing wire, which I'm going to show you how to get that in a second. And it was, just imagine it straight. So we bend it like this. Okay. A bit of an S shape with a tag. That's where it's going to join onto the line. We're going to solder it to that. And in the meantime, we need to make these, finish off these. So we had a straight piece there, put that in there, into the straw. Where the bend is, bend it inside the straw so that the wire holds the straw on our lovely angle, which we now will turn into the pole for the catenary. So we've got our pole made, and we need to then put these into the track. So we have pre-drilled some holes down here. That one is actually strapped to the scaffolding on the side of the bridge. These ones will be drilled, so we drilled that one, and this one, and that one down there. And they go in to the hole. They'll need to be glued later on, but just for now we're going to pop them in. They should just sit in there nice and tight, so make sure you get the right, exact right drill to make them a little bit tight, so that we can work with it without gluing. I'm going to glue them later because I don't know exactly where this is going to sit yet. Right? So that'll allow me to put them through the hole, up and down, like they're adjustable. Right? See that? Okay, which I'll do that later when I'm, once they're all adjusted to the line and I'm happy with it, then I'll glue them. So the first thing we've got to do now is talk about the wire, which I'm just over here in the front. We've got some on the floor here, which I pulled out before to show you how we get the wire. Now you could go to a shop and buy this somewhere. I'm not even sure where I would send you, but I'm sure you could buy it in strands like that. We have used an old piece of housing wire. This is the earth wire, pretty thick. So inside this wire is about 7 or 9 strands. Now I've been breaking this one down to 3 left, and just to show you, you've got to unwind it and just unwind them all, get them separated, and now that one's free. Put those aside, and we end up with our one big long piece of wire that we need for the catenary, as it's called. This wiring on top is called the catenary. I won't go into details, look it up on the internet why it's called the catenary. The other piece on the train is the pantograph that moves up and down under the line, and it's called a pantograph for a reason as well. Look it up online. So you've got to get this wire pretty straight, so you've got to do it by hand. Some people would say put it in a vise and pull it, and I've done that before and it doesn't work that well. So I like to just do it by hand. It doesn't have to be dead straight because the pantograph will adjust for any invariances on the line, but we get it as straight as we can. Alright, and then I'm going to need a little curve as well. So first thing is to straighten it out roughly, and just by eye. Alright, I'm taking a moment there. That's okay. Now you can straighten it out even more even after you've made it, because you'll find that that's bent there, and that, I didn't see that until you put it together. Then that's fine. We can always straighten a bit more later on, like I said. So now we've got that pretty straight. A little bit of a curve we need, so we're just going to bend it a bit. and work out where we go from here. That's just about exactly the right size. It's too big, I'll cut it down when I'm finished. Okay. So I'm just going to let that sit for now. Bring these down a bit. Now I had these bent out the way a bit because the train was coming through. I didn't want them to touch, so I've got to open these up a little bit, which is not important really, but a little bit, just for my soldering. Now I'm going to take this old line. Here's a temporary line here that we had in place to drop the the pantograph on the train as it goes under this bridge, which is also, speaking of that bridge, I wanted to speak to you about that a little bit. We have put a little bit of a bridge in here. This is the overpass, like a freeway, and I've installed that without your knowledge, because really it is AFX track and there isn't a lot to make because it's been made for you. I've just spray painted it grey and put a few little pillars underneath. I've made a styrene one here and there, cut them out of styrene like I did with the rest of the train set around here, so you know how to do that already. And it was pretty easy to install, I must be honest. So we did that, and we'll show you that now. So that's easy to make. AFX track, spray it grey, away you go. Okay. Now we'll get back to this. I've got to come around here now because I've bolted it into here. I've just tucked that wire around a bit there, which is how I'm going to do it, but this is a temporary one. Got to take this out. Alright, so that's the old wire, the temporary. Now this one, turn our soldering iron on. I've got one of these electronic ones which I can adjust the heat. Okay guys, our soldering iron is ready. So what we need to do now, I'll put my glasses on now, and see if we can get this soldering started. So I've got the copper wire here, which we've stripped out of the power cable, remember, housing wire. So at this point you want to just put a little bit of solder on the end of that nodule just there. Now I'm just going to get rid of that. A little bit of too much solder on. You don't want too much. Try not to drip any on your track underneath. I should have a cloth under there, but that's okay. Pretty confident. There. So what I'll do is I'll do all these. What I'm doing here is I'm just preparing the sticks with the solder on the end, so when I come to join them they'll join very quickly. That's the last one. Now we need to attach the line. This is the tricky part. Make sure I've got enough on there, which I have. I'm going to get a fresh lot. Don't be scared to waste your solder, because clean solder is good. Now this is going to go about there. And, oh, so it's going to get pretty hot. Just try and solder that together. Righto. And that's how we solder up the pantograph line. The cat line, as it's called. Now here we need to bend this a little bit like this, just roughly for now. And now under the bridge here, turn the soldering iron off, because this is just a twist down here. Over here, bring that through. Oh, now we've got to bring that through somehow in all this stuff here. Yep, like that. It's going to be bent, but it's okay. And there, now that's got to go here, about there. Really, you bend that up there, hook it around there, like that. There. Okay, now we'll fix that up after, I think. there. Alright, we'll just bring that into line a bit more. Look over the top of the track, and this has got to be in the middle, roughly. That's why there's all adjustable here. Bend the wire around. Right. It looks half right. Let's just go around here and run the train, eh? To see what happens. Oh, yeah. That one's working, the lights come on. And that one, push. Oh, okay, so there's a bit of a problem there because I've got to sand the bottom of them, don't I? Yeah, it got through. Oh. It's pushed them down. It's too low. Okay, so that means too low there. Just bring that up a little bit. And let's come off its hook. There. Yep, okay, there. Try that again, I think. One more round. Yeah, round it goes. Ah, wasted. Got to put these back up. And one more test. Oh, yeah, I see. Uh-oh, okay, failure. So we've got to fix that a bit more. But you get the idea of how it goes. Right, so there we have our catenary system, which we need to just adjust a bit more, but that's how we do it. I've got to sand up the bottoms of these a little bit, make a few little more adjustments, hook that back in there properly. Okay, so yeah, so you can see how it works. I've just got to now, the wires for the speed controller, or we're using old speed controllers, right? We're using the 5 volts part of it. So 12 volts comes in, and you've got the 5 volts which goes to your receiver. So that is good power for your lights if you want to. You can also use a triac, which I'm investigating at the moment. We'll talk to you more about that when we install that. And that power will then come through these lines, through the stem, onto our electronics underneath the track here. I think that's a positive line, I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll show you that next time. In the meantime, hope you enjoyed the show. I think you learned a lot that time, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you want to be notified of our future videos, hit the bell icon, which will let you know when we release new episodes.